Mirthell, Onyx Dad, and I'd like to read to you an Onyx Kids Adventures story. This story is called Zombie Outbreak, and it's written from Shasha's perspective, meaning Shasha's telling the story, but I'll read it. The only thing I dislike more than boredom is being sick. Being sick is brutal because not only are you not allowed to do anything fun, but on top of it all, you feel horrible sitting around doing nothing. My name is Sade, but everyone calls me Shasha. I'm 11 years old and well, this is my life. I have two sisters who are all older than me. Shiloh, who is 16, and Sinead, who is 15. Then there's Shiloh, my younger brother, who is 10. Then of course, there's my mom and dad, Rita, and Mirthell. Me. We're the Onyx Family. Now that you know me and my family, let's get back to what I said in the beginning. There is some type of virus threatening my family. It's pretty serious if you ask me. But you'll see for yourself, because I'm going to tell you guys everything. I have to admit, my imagination can get the best of me, which can make everything seem much more dramatic than it really is. But you decide for yourself, is the world coming to an end? Or is this just another Onyx Kids adventure? Ground zero. The city seemed completely deserted. As far as the ear could hear, it was just deafening silence. As far as the eye could see, complete devastation. There were burned down abandoned homes and overgrown parks. The schools were empty. The playgrounds were empty. The malls were empty. And the gas stations were empty. Something terrible has happened. Full plates of food sat cold and untouched on restaurant tables. Shopping carts full of rotten groceries were left unattended in the aisles of the grocery store. Entire neighborhoods were abandoned. The doors of several homes were left wide open, telling the tale of a frantic flight. One side of the highway going out of the city looked like a snapshot of standstill traffic. On the other side, entering into the city, it was completely empty. Not a single car horn, not a child's laughter, not even a dog's bark. Everyone was gone. This is the aftermath of a zombie outbreak, and the Onyx House was ground zero. This is how it all began. Achoo! Shalom! Cover your nose when you sneeze. Sinead was disgusted. That just got all over my bowl of cereal and the rest of the kitchen counter. Achoo! This time, Shalom covered her face with her hands. Shalom, use your forearm. Now you need to go wash your hands. You can't be touching all over the fridge, the door, the utensils, the kitchen counter. I don't want to get sick. Sinead was livid. Let me explain something to you about Sinead. Sinead is a diva, so looking fabulous is a must. She has a reputation to uphold. If she was sick, she couldn't go shopping. If she was coughing, she couldn't talk on the phone. If she had a runny nose or a fever, well, she couldn't post her selfies on Instagram. Then what would her followers do? Shalom is more of a free spirit. She dances to the beat of her own drums and never looks behind her to see if anyone is watching or following. Her idea of a perfect day is to set up her playlist of favorite songs and dance around the house for hours. The music picks her up, dances with her, takes her mind into another world. There she is for the next few hours in her second home until the music fades and she lands back on Earth. A little cold, a sneeze here and there, a fever or a cough is but a slight setback for Shiloh. Sinead was still babbling on and on in the distance about the fact that she couldn't get sick and that Shiloh needed to stay away from her and not touch anything. Shiloh, now you're touching all over your phone. Gross. Shiloh was touching her phone because she was group texting her mom and dad. Mom, Dad, I think I'm coming down with something. What is that remedy you used to give us? Dad responds back. Oh, I know exactly what you need. We'll start off by buying you some Buckleys. Shalom texts back. No, not Buckleys. Dad texts back. It will knock it out immediately. Shalom. Mom, please help me here. I don't want Buckleys. Dad chimes in again. Okay, fine. Maybe we can get you a clove of garlic to chew on with a spoonful of manuka honey. Heat up a cup of water with a freshly squeezed lemon and top it off with 2 spoonfuls of elderberry. Shalom. Mom! With an exclamation mark for help. Mom texts. Don't worry, dear. We're at the pharmacy now. I'll get regular medicine for you. Meanwhile, Sinead was still talking. Look, Shalom, I'm serious. You're not getting me sick. Shalom headed to the bathroom to wash her hands. She would rather appease Sinead than to have her on her back all day. Sinead followed her toward the bathroom, complaining about her fears of being contaminated. But as soon as Shalom stepped into the bathroom, Sinead slammed the door shut and jammed it with the doorstop so Shalom couldn't get out. Shasha was coming down the stairs and overheard part of the conversation. She snuck up to hear better. I'm so scared that you are going to infect me, Sinead said. You might even infect the whole family. Shasha peeked around the corner as her sisters continued their conversation. Shasha's eyes and mouth popped wide open. Underneath her breath, words slowly released. Her ears couldn't even believe what her own mouth was about to say. And from that moment, the world would never be the same again. OMG, Shalom is a zombie. Contagious. Shocked at what she just saw and heard, Shasha was on the edge. This was not a good time for Shiloh to sneak up behind her. Hey, Shasha, what you doing? Shasha jumped. Shiloh, don't ever do that to me again. Do what? Don't ever say hi, what you doing? Look, Shiloh, we are living in perilous times. Things are not like they used to be. I don't know who I can trust. What are you talking about, Shasha? You know you can trust me. I'm family. Shh. Be quiet for a second. I'm trying to hear what Sinead is talking about. I'm sorry, Shalom, but I have to lock you in this bathroom. I can't take the chance of getting infected. Sinead was pleading her case. After locking Shalom in the bathroom, Sinead wrote a big sign on the door that read, "Don't open this door. Danger of becoming infected." Sade turned her attention back to Shiloh. Look, Shiloh, I'll let you in on this top secret information. It appears as though a virus is circulating. It caused Shalom to turn into a zombie. Sinead is right now quarantining the whole area. Shiloh, we have to be very careful, but if you stick with me, you'll be safe. Shasha, maybe I should just check it all out for myself. Look, Shiloh, if you don't believe me and you want to check it out, we should at least get on some hazmat suits. Hazmat suits? Isn't that a bit much, Shasha? Besides, do we even have any of those lying around? Shasha thought to herself, most likely not. But luckily for you, I know how to create top-grade hazmat suits out of garbage bags and scotch tape. Shiloh and Shasha got busy getting into large black garbage bags. They used scotch tape to seal the opening areas, and then they put the final pieces on the face mask with eye goggles. They felt prepared. They felt invincible. Shiloh and Shasha headed back to the bathroom where Shalom was locked inside. They could hear grunting sounds and somebody sloshing around like a zombie. The person was bumping into the door, then turning around, sloshing across the bathroom floor and banging into the walls, back and forth, bump, bang, like a mindless zombie. They read the sign on the door. Don't open this door. Danger of becoming infected. Let's go in and check her out, Shiloh said. Shiloh, didn't you read the sign? But we have on hazmat suits, Shiloh reasoned. Shiloh and Shasha cautiously opened the door with Shiloh leading the way. But Shalom had detected motion outside and was eager to escape. As soon as they cracked the door open, Shalom barged out. Shalom stormed after them as a zombie chases ensues around the kitchen. Now, zombies are typically slow. They're known to drag their feet behind them with both arms outstretched and both hands limp in front of them. Usually their eyes are bloodshot with a glazed look because the spark of life is gone. They grunt for speech, and their mouth is stained with red as they like to bite their victims. But this was not the case with Shalom. Well, most of it was, but definitely not the slow part. Shalom was fast. She was a fast zombie. As Shiloh and Shasha took off, Shalom was right behind them. Around the kitchen, through the hall, in the dining room, through the swinging doors, back into the kitchen for round two. All the while, Shiloh and Shasha could hear sneezing and coughing from the other room. But how could that be? Shalom was right on their heels. That's when they realized that Sinead could be sick too. They knew they needed to split up. At least one of them would lose Shalom. Shasha went right. Shiloh went left. Unfortunately for Shiloh, Shalom went left as well. It was Shiloh's unlucky day. To make matters worse, Shiloh's hazmat suit got stuck on a piece of furniture, and now he was stuck. In that moment, Shiloh's entire life flashed before his eyes. It was only a moment, but it felt like eternity. Where did that chair come from anyhow? He thought to himself, I never liked that chair. But I didn't realize how much this chair didn't like me either. Shalom reached out and the garbage bag ripped. Shiloh was free. But could he have been compromised? Just when he thought he got away, Sinead came stumbling around the corner. She had a glazed look in her eyes and a piece of tissue stuck up one of her nostrils. Oh no, Sinead really was contaminated too. There was nowhere to run. Shalom was right behind him and Sinead was approaching him from the front. Shiloh ducked and weaved, just narrowly missing Sinead's outstretched arms. The two zombies collided against each other and Shiloh made his escape. He ran for his life without looking back. He didn't even know if they were still following him. Shiloh and Shasha were back together once again now. They were safe, for now, in their secret hiding spot under the stairs. Every game of hide and seek, the both of them would meet right there. Sometimes they would come just to hang out, talk, or play when they didn't want to be disturbed. Nobody in the house even knew where this place was, except for just them. Sometimes they would hide underneath the stairwell when their mom and dad were looking for someone to do a chore. It worked out well when Sinead and Shalom ended up having to wash the dishes or clean the bathroom. But there had been a time or two when one of them ended up having to do the chore and they contemplated snitching about the spot. But of course, they never did. The entrance of the hiding spot was well hidden in the sitting room behind the teal couch. The door looked like just another decorative side panel of the wall. Shiloh had actually found it first. He had been hiding behind the couch almost in plain sight when Shasha came around the corner looking for somewhere to hide and found him. It was a tight spot to hide for one person, but definitely too crowded for two people. On this particular day, as they fought each other trying to push the other out of the spot, Shiloh bumped into the wall and the side wall cracked open. At first, they thought they were in trouble for breaking the wall. But when they pushed it back in and the wall looked perfect again, they thought to themselves, this might not be a wall after all. Shasha squeezed her fingers along the side and pulled on it, widening the crack. She pulled on it again, and only to see the wall open into a full secret passageway. They looked at each other with shock and surprise, then quickly climbed inside and shut the door as they heard someone coming. They were there for hours. Shiloh and Shasha couldn't find them, and never have, even till this day. It remained the perfect secret hiding spot until one of them had to find each other. Then, of course, they could never hide there because they would always be found because the other person knew about it. It also remained the perfect hiding spot if they were running away from zombies. And that's what they did. It was pitch black. They tried so hard not to make a sound. They didn't even want to breathe, let alone talk. But Shasha had to know what was happening out there when she and Shiloh had gotten split up. Did he get caught? Was he exposed? Did he get contaminated? Shasha was trying to figure out, was this the perfect spot to hide today? Or was it not so perfect? Only time would tell. Better yet, she was hoping Shiloh would tell. Shiloh, what happened out there? Well, Shalom came after me, but I was too fast for her. Then Sinead came around the corner. That's when I realized she turned into a zombie too. I ducked and weaved. They collided and I got away. So, they never got you. Your hazmat suit is still intact. Yeah, of course. Don't worry, we're safe. Achoo! Shiloh sneezed. Shiloh, what was that? Nothing. What? Achoo! Shiloh, you're contaminated, aren't you? Shasha was horrified. My hazmat suit ripped, Shasha, but I thought I'd be okay because Shalom didn't even touch me. Shasha was out the door before Shiloh could even finish his sentence. Just as she swung the door open and leaped out, she saw both zombies coming around the corner right at her. If zombies could have emotions, they would have had the look of surprise on their faces. If zombies could talk, they would have said, "What in the world? I didn't know that there was a secret hiding spot back there." But since zombies have no emotions and don't speak, what they did was just grunt and launch into a full chase after Shasha. Shasha sped around the corner and darted up the stairs with Sinead and Shalom in hot pursuit. Shiloh could hear the stampede above his head. Knowing that the coast was clear, he headed out of the secret spot himself. Now in the light, Shiloh could see the rip in his hazmat suit. Oh no, I'm infected! How long will it be before I fully turn into a zombie? Will it hurt? Will I even know I'm a zombie? Perhaps you're thinking the same thing. I wish I had answers for you, but I don't. All I know is that one minute Shiloh was asking himself these questions, and the next minute he had joined the chase. Shasha had ran up the stairs, across the second floor hall, and then down the back stairwell, only to find Shiloh heading up the stairwell with a growl and a glazed look in his eyes. "Oh no," Shasha said under her breath, "Shiloh's a zombie now." Shasha headed back up the stairs the way that she had just came down. Shiloh was on her tail. Typically, she would have turned right, but Shiloh and Sinead were there and were also after her. There was nowhere to go except for straight into the exercise room. She could head out the side door that went outside onto the balcony, then head down the stairs toward the pool, and at that point, she had options. She could jump into the pool, or she could climb the tennis court fence and sit at the top. But what she didn't know was if zombies could swim or climb. She decided to do all of the above. Shasha was banking on the fact that she was the most athletic among all her siblings. Besides, she knew the backyard more than anyone else in her family, since she went out there to jog every morning. She could outpace them, and maybe they would eventually just get tired. Do zombies get tired? She thought to herself. Well, she would soon find out. She ran towards the tennis court and started her laps. The zombies ran in the tennis court also. And when they started to surround her, she started to climb the tennis court fence. To her horror, they started climbing the fence too. Her plan was to go over the other side, but that's when she realized that would not be such a great idea, because on the other side of the fence, she could come face to face with the zombies going up. When she got to the top, instead of going over the edge and coming back down the other side, she went across the top of the fence as fast as she could, and then she started back down. The zombies didn't climb as fast as Shasha, so when they saw her going back down, they simply jumped and continued their pursuit. Okay, so the first question has been answered. Can zombies climb? Yes, they can. But can they swim? So Shasha decided to jump in the pool next. Now, most pools will gradually become deeper from the shallow end toward the deep end, right? But in this pool, it gradually gets deeper until about 5 feet. Then it just drops. 10 feet! She swam toward the deep end, and when the zombies climbed in the pool from the shallow end, it was really creepy because they didn't swim, they just started walking towards her. And when they got to around 5 feet, they disappeared. Shasha began to freak out because she could not see them coming. Were they walking on the bottom of the pool towards her? Would they grab her feet and pull her down? Wait, are they contaminating the water? How much time did she have to get out of the pool before either the zombies or the virus reached her part of the pool? The anecdote. There are 4 theories out there about the cure for zombieism. Some people believe that a few select people have natural immunity against zombies, but all of the people will inevitably be infected. Other people say that in zombie apocalypse situations, the antidote needs to be applied before someone gets infected. The antibody usually is extracted from the persons who have the natural immunity. The theory is that receiving the antidote will create antibodies that help fight the foreign germs once they enter your system, so they will never be able to fully take over your body. But the antidote only works if you receive it before you're infected. Another theory is that as long as the antidote is applied, it will travel through the body, eventually fight back all foreign germs, and eventually bring about a full cure within hours. The antidote will work if applied even after you were infected. Other people insist that there isn't a cure for zombieism. There are no persons with natural immunity, and there is no antidote. Onyx's mom and dad were on their way home now from the store with medicine for the kids. They picked up everything they could. If one thing didn't work, maybe the other would. They had everything from lemons, oranges, ginger, garlic, honey, to vapor rub, cough drops, pills, and syrups. And if all else failed, nothing like chicken soup, love, and time would cure all things. They attempted to call the kids to let them know that they were on their way back home. But no one was answering their phones. Mom was concerned for her babies, while Dad seemed to think that they'd be okay. Honey, why do you think they're not answering their phones? They'll be okay, honey. You know how our kids can be. They get all dramatic when they're sick. They're either probably all tucked in bed, sleeping, or stumbling around like some zombie, moaning and complaining about being sick. Onyx Dad tried to reassure her. You're right. The way they act, you would think that the world was ending. As Onyx's mom and dad approached the front door, they could sense that something was not quite right. It was quiet. Too quiet. They opened the door cautiously. That's when they saw their children, all four of them, even Shasha, dragging themselves toward the door. Dad tried to sound self-assured, as if he was not concerned by the scene unfolding in front of him. Here we go again with the over-the-top drama. Someone would think you guys were zombies by the way you're acting. But their own feet, backing away from their zombie children, betrayed their show of confidence. When their backs hit the front door, that's when Mom started to panic. Please, just stay where you are, guys. Stay where you are. Your dad and I do not want to get sick. They didn't listen to them. Onyx's mom and dad were trapped as their zombie children crept closer and closer and closer. Onyx family is now in bed all together. Why do sick kids always climb all over their mom and dad when they're sick? They're like a moth to a flame. There's no hope, no matter how hard you try. Once one child gets infected in the house, it's only a matter of time before everyone gets infected. Oh yes, the entire Onyx house became infected. Runny nose, sore throat, high fever, coughing, sneezing, and headaches. Mom and Dad got it all. Locked away in their room now, they had no clue what the conditions were in the rest of their home now. The rest of their street, the rest of their city. For all they knew, the city could be now completely deserted. As far as the ear could hear, deafening silence. As far as the eye could see, devastation. Maybe burned down and abandoned homes, overgrown parks, empty schools, empty playgrounds, empty malls, and empty gas stations. Perhaps full plate of food sitting cold, untouched on restaurant tables. Shopping carts full of rotten groceries left unattended in the aisle of the grocery stores. Entire neighborhoods abandoned, the doors of several homes wide open, telling the tale of a frantic flight. The highways going in out of the city probably looked like a snapshot of a standstill traffic. Not a car horn, not a child's laughter, and not a dog's bark. They didn't know much about what was happening in the outside world. All they knew was that something terrible had happened, and now it was happening to them. But was it zombieism, you might ask? For your sake, I sure hope not. Or maybe, just maybe, the Onyx family was just being dramatic over a simple case of the common cold, mingled with an overactive imagination. What do you think? Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the story, and we'll see you next time on Onyx Kids Adventure Stories. If you would like to purchase this book, you can get it at www.onyxfamily.com.